Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
So just I will give the basic first introduction. So we will do first we will go through with what's component, what's directive, services, everything. So by together all will make one big application. So but before that we will see one we'll do one small application that is to get a good understanding with how the components will interact, how what is the need of directive, what is the need of pipe, what are all the building blocks are there with the angular. So this is basically the angular project structure. So where we see angular, the for data we write is 2 MB of data or maybe less, but the modules which are available is of 2 GB. So that is the library which is heavy. So where when you go with angular, so first we should have a setup of node. Node.js should be installed. We are working on Angular 8, so Node of version 12 and above will be preferred to work on this 12 and above. And we require the IDE, which is Visual Studio Code, which is friendly for any front-end kind of application development. Then we will be using npm node package manager, that is to get our libraries and to download it. So where angular, whenever we want to install with angular on the platform of node, we are going to install, which is by using npm I or install -g, which is globally. So at angular, so angular of CLI at whatever the version you want to give it, 1.8 or 8, whatever is the angular version you want to install it. So that we can install at the angular. So once the angular is installed, so we can check with the command which is ng-v, which will be given what is the angular version which you have it in your system. So whenever you go with the Angular, so then we want to create a project, like we require the project structure or scaffolding of a project we needed. So we can do the command ng new, and what is the project name which you want to give it. Ng new project name, which we will create a Angular project with the whatever the name we are specifying. I just done it before instead of spending some time with that. If you have not, you can create a new project. Let me just show it to you, my project what I have created. Yeah, so I've created a project called sample project with the command here. Yeah, ng new sample project. Once you have created with the project, so that is first it will create all the libraries, means all the folder structure what is required for us. This is the folder structure. So whenever you go with the Angular, so it is based on the TypeScript, the language which we are using for Angular development here, which is TypeScript. The TypeScript is a programming language which we will be using to work on Angular. It is more similar to our Java coding, how we write our Java programming or any Java code, object oriented programming. So it will be almost similar to this. So that way we will be writing. So to work with the TypeScript, so like we have some TS configurations. So that configurations will be taken in the file which is called tslint.json. This is a JSON file which have a TypeScript configuration. What all the configuration will be there? Let me just take a simple example. Do I want to use a double quotes or single quotes? Here, I can make all the rules which I want to give it. Like, let me just take it here, quotes. You can see in the line number 70, there is a quote mark which is single. So whenever we are going with the development, so like each developer have its own way of writing a code. So we want to restrict it, should not be used a double quotes, only single quotes should be used. And our application development, like for the TypeScript files, we can keep all the rules. Like here, the quote mark which is single. I just took a one simple example. The same way, order of the inputs, it's not matter, it's a false. So like number of rules are there for the TypeScript configuration. That is what the file name is, tslint JSON. Tslint JSON, so it will be given the configurations or the rules for the TypeScript code which you are writing. Then which have a spec.json, maybe it is my profile is there, or I have a Angular 9, so there will be some small change for your program or the project directory structure, but the coding we will be writing with the Java, sorry, Angular 8 only. With Angular 9, some features are there. Yes, I'll introduce some features of Angular 9 as well. And whenever you build the application, where the output directory and what is the configuration of tslint, and where the test file is present, and where the browser development or the browser related codes, all this are available in the spec and the app.json. So that is the details will be available here. And TypeScript config JSON, which is the given the details of the complete TypeScript. That is the libraries which we are using is ES 2018, which is ES6, and we have a DOM library, and then node modules are available here. So for the development, we require a TypeScript, but whenever you run, the transpilation process will happen. The TypeScript will convert into JavaScript and run it. Like simple, if I write a Java code, it will convert into dot class, the bytecode file, and run it. Same way here in the Angular, if you write a TypeScript file, TypeScript make developer life easy to write it. But to run it, we require a JavaScript. So it will convert it as a JavaScript and execute it. So where node modules types for the type roots, and what is the target, which is ES 2050, and import help is all the what is the base URL for your application and what is the out directory. Once you build the application, we will get the dist folder. Inside of this dist folder only, we will get this out.tsc. So all the TypeScript output files will be given. So then readme, that's the normal get readme file, or to go with the GitHub to connect it. So for this, we have here git ignore file also to easily connect with the Git. And we have the very important file which is package.json. Package.json is a file that is to get the library. It is having the details of which all the libraries we require to work on the Angular project. So name of a project, version of a project, to run what all the scripts we required with the npm or with the ng start, ng build, ng test, ng lint. That is how many TypeScript rules you have violated to see ng lint, or to do end-to-end testing, we go with ng e2e. So these are all some dependencies: Angular animations, Angular common, router, and RxJS. So we will go in a detail with each dependency. This are the dependencies required to execute, but for development we require a TypeScript code, so that's why you can see in the dev dependencies types are there. Okay, and we don't require the testing libraries for the execution environment. So this Jasmine and Karma and Protractor, all this are the unit testing and end-to-end testing libraries, so that's why it's not there in the dependencies. Dependencies are which is used to uh, build your application, but dev dependencies which is required for development. So that's what the two dependencies are available. This is called package.json file. We have package log.json, which will give the complete detailed about the each dependency, that is what is the integrity or what the versions of each dev kit and all we are using. The whole detail will be available in this. Then for the unit testing, we have a Karma configuration. The Karma is a runner to run your unit test cases. That configuration file is Karma configure. Then you have a browser list. It will give what all the browsers list will be go with the npx. And there is Angular JSON. In the Angular JSON file, we will have a build path and thus a test. So like if you are adding some external JavaScript, or you are adding some external bootstrap or kind of CSS, or I want some icons to be used for my project, so we'll use Phantasm library. So whenever you go with the external libraries for your project, so you can add it in the styles here. So this is the one place where we can configure we the external CSS can be configured here, like Bootstrap or Phantasm, or we have something called Brahma CSS for the Angular grid applications. All these external things can be configured in the styles and the scripts, and all other files still know whatever we discussed, all are loading here. This is the JSON file. Then this is the simple configuration file and Angular doc. E2E for end-to-end testing. Node modules is our library folder. All the libraries will be available in node modules. SRC is actually our development folder, and in the SRC, app is a development folder. So here we have our assets. We can keep all the images, or you want to write some, you have to have some videos, images, any external resources you want to give it, so can be taken in the assets. Environments will have, by default, it will take development environment. We can have a production environment. Production properties can be configured here, and the development environment will be by default picked up. So if you want to give some properties for the development and production different, you can configure it here. If you want new environment, that can also be added. Later stages, we will see that. Okay. So then we have a app, which is actually the development environment or the development code. Before going to the app, here we have some other files. Index.html. Whenever I run my Angular project, to run your Angular project, we will use npm start, or I can use ngserve. We can use ngserve directly, or we can use npm start also. Let me just terminate. I'll give ngserve. So it will take some time to load your application. So once it is bundled, and it will open the default port is 4200. So it's compiling. Let it compile, we'll come back. So the bootstrap file, which is the first component, should be loaded. Basically, we'll call Angular as useful for SPA applications, which is single page application development. So which page should be landed, or the bootstrap, that will be decided in the two places. That first HTML is index.html. You know HTML tag, head tag, meta tag, body tag. These are all simple HTML tags. But you have your own tag, which is called app-root. How you are created this tag? This tag is a Angular tag. So that is, we are created one component, and that component we will make it, or we are adding to another HTML file as our tag. So this is the app root, which is a one component already available. So that component we have added here. Then we have one TypeScript file, which is configuring the environment, platform browser dynamic. So which is the environment of production as configured in the main.ts. Polyfills TS. Polyfill TS. What is the use of polyfills.ts? Like maybe once we started with the development, maybe some code is working properly in the Chrome, may not work in the Firefox, or may not work in the Edge. So that we have to check in the polyfills. So for which particular data, like IE 10 and IE 11 requires the following of for NG class supports on SVG elements. If you're going with any SVG elements of HTML5, you should have this import class list.js. So that should be uncommented and you have to install this class list.js to your project. So that like the same way you will have once you go with the animations, you for the particular type of browsers, you will configure the web animations.js. So like if you go through with the polyfills.js file, we'll be able to get for the browser supporting what code should be written. So that is zone.js, that is zone.js, so which we will be included with Angular CLI to execute it. So like the browser code dependency can be checked here, that is a polyfills.ts will be given. We have one file called global CSS. If you want to write some CSS for any of your component, then we will use a styles.css. Then we have a test.ts. This is the first test file will be executing whenever you do the unit testing. That is about the folder structure of your Angular project. Are you clear with the folder structure? Any doubts are there, guys?
Doubts.
Okay, Prashant, are you clear?
Yeah, we are good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So what is a component? Like whenever we go with any TypeScript programming, so it is also object-oriented programming. So we will write the class. We are writing a classes in the Angular coding. So how will you write a class? So we'll write a class and name of the class, like I will make it here app component. Like I can write any class name. I'm writing here class app. Okay. So if I want to use this class somewhere else in another class, I want to use this class. I want to import it. In the TypeScript or with the Angular, it says if the class should be imported, mandatory you have to allow for export. If you have a export keyword, then only this class can be used in any other classes. So this is the way you will write the class export class app. So whatever the name of a class you want to write it. So when you talk about the building blocks of a Angular, building blocks of a Angular. So the first building block of a Angular is a component. What is component? So the component is a combination of class plus template plus CSS or style. Component as a one building block, and the component we will be writing as a combination of class, template and the style. Template in the sense it is a HTML code. It's a HTML code. That is the HTML. See, style is a CSS. So the component is a combination of three things, which is component, template, class, and the style. Or we can call it a component is a combination of template, class, and decorator. So in Angular, everything as a class only depends on what decorator you are writing, that will be matters. If I write a class app, and if I want to make this class as a component, I will use a decorator called component decorator. Where the component decorator is defined, it is defined in the Angular core library. So that is, it is in the Angular core library. So we have to import that. That is import. We'll write the syntax to import it. Import component from Angular core. Okay. So that is what first component we will be writing. So the component as a decorator, which is provided by Angular core library, have to import before using it. And when you have a component have a several properties. So how will you write the properties in the component? For any type of a class, or for all the types of a building blocks in the Angular, we have first one which is called selector. What is this selector? The selector is the name of a component that we can use it as a HTML, or that we can use it as a tag in any other components or any other classes in the Angular. So that is the name which is to identify this particular class. So that is, we'll use it here, export. We can have a selector name can be anything. So that is, I can give it as my app. So that the component of this, the name of a component is my app. If I want to display the details of this component in the HTML, I will write my app. This way we will write it. Okay. So then after the selector, we have the next property which is called template. Either we have a template or we have a template URL. So template, in the sense we will write the HTML code inside of a template itself. Template URL means we are referring to other HTML page. Either we can write the HTML code inside a component as a template. If you are writing as another file, it is a template URL. Either you can go with any of this property. Either one, cannot be used both. Any one can be written. Same way, if you want to write the stylings, either we will write the style component, style or styles. So that is, sorry, styles, or we will use style URLs. So any of these things we will use it. One component will be binded only with one template or one template URL, any of one, but can be binded with multiple CSS pages. Multiple CSS can be present, but only one template should be there. So this is the simple component which we have it. Then inside the component, you can write any of this data. Are you clear with the component?
How will we relate to multiple CSS in that case?
I'll show you 1 second. Okay, so if you are using style URLs, we'll use it style URLs, and we will mention here what is the name of a CSS file we will be having. Like we'll write app component.css, then we can write it here. It's a array actually. We can write sample.component.css. Like this, we will write the CSS file names.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah.
But for template URL, it should be always be one, isn't it?
Yes, either you go with the template URL as an external file or write the
Or
HTML code inside of this only. It's a template.
got it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. Yeah. So this is the first component which we have it. The second building block which we have it as a module. What is this module? So module is also a one type of a class. It is also a class only, but it will be have the decorator called ng module. At the rate of ng module decorator will be available. So all the components can be loaded to the module. It's actually a kind of a packaging. That is, you will be writing what are all the components you have, all components to be registered to one module. So for every Angular application, minimum you will have one module. Minimum you will have one module. That module is called app module. For the app module, all the components and what are all the predefined modules you are using, everything should be written in the ng module. In the ng module decorator, again here you have a different properties. What all the properties are there in the ng module? The ng module, again, so we will be having the properties which is imports, we'll have declarations, and we will have providers, will have bootstrap. The bootstrap is a property. It will be a combination of what is the selector you have used in the index.html. The same selector should be present in the bootstrap. So here, this is my app component I have created. Okay, the app component is a my app. So this we have mentioned in the index.html. The same component should be mentioned for the bootstrap. The combination of index.html plus app module bootstrap will be loaded your rendering page. This will be the landing page or the bootstrapping page for your Angular application. You can change it. You can change it. You can write any component. Which component you want to make a bootstrap, that component you can write it here. Then you are writing a providers. The providers means basically who will provide the data for you. We'll call it as a service classes. The service classes should be registered in the providers. Like you have some backend, that backend is giving data for you. So that data getting, we will write it some service classes. So that services we have to register in the providers. Not only service, maybe you have to take in care of authentication and all. So for that, we will have a decorator called injectable. All the injectable decorators classes should be included in the providers. That is called providers. Then what is this declaration and imports? Imports will be predefined modules. Declarations are user defined components. Imports, which is predefined modules. Declarations are user defined components. Like for example, I'm developing a web application. I require browser module. So first I have to import it in the browser module. Then only I can make a web application. I want to work with some forms. I require a forms module. I want to work with some routing. I require a router module. So whatever the code you want to write it, like I want to interact with a HTTP, I require HTTP client module. So all the predefined modules to work with your Angular application should be first imported in the imports. Then only that module components we can access in anywhere in our application. That is called imports. Declarations means Angular says every component should be registered into the declarations. Then only Angular will be able to identify, okay, this component is present. So if you creating any component, that component should be mandatorily registered in the declarations of a ng module. So app module, this is the app module. So minimum one module will be present in our every Angular application. It will be gives the whole components and the list of modules and the providers and the bootstrap component. All the details will be provided in the ng module. Ng module is a decorator to create a module class. You can create any class which can be annotated or can be come with a decorator called ng module. So the by default, if you see your Angular project contains the first module which is called app module ts, that is ng module decorator, which have an app component. App component is also present in the same folder. And when you take about the naming conventions here, you are creating a class name is this, but the file name should be app.component.ts, app.component.html, app.component.css. Okay, so this is what here the naming conventions of the files will be created. If you are creating a component, so it should be come with a dot component, app.component.ts. It's a TypeScript file name, and the class name will be like this, app component. So this is the file name, this is the class name. Okay, if you are having a module, then it will be app.module ts. Still other number of building blocks are there, one by one will go slowly, no worries. Okay, so this is what now here we have. So that's what we are importing first app component. and this is the declarations, and app component is written here. And in the imports, by default there are two modules are there, browser module and app routing module. App routing module as a routing module is responsible to work on the routings. So maybe in the uh, further third session or fourth session, I'll come to this routing module.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Then providers, as of now, we don't have any data providers, so we are not writing any data providers. Then we have a bootstrap, which is an app component. So this is the component as a landing component. The same component selector, if I open app component ES, what is a selector here? It is present, it is an app root. Same app root is given in the index.html. The first page will be loaded, this page. In this, it will take a selector, which selector you have. It's a app root selector, so that's what the app root, whatever the code will be available in the app root app component, that will be displayed. So let us just go and check here. Localhost 4200 we run previously, right? So it's compiled successfully. So this is the landing page which is coming. Okay, so we have not designed anything, we just created a project, but still it's giving because the by default there is one component.html is present. That's what it is giving. Let me just let it be present. I'll go to app component ES. This is the first file, it is landing. So I don't want to take it a template URL. So I will go with template. When you change from template URL to template, just have a look here now. It's just removed everything and given app component HTML. Whatever data you're writing inside a template will treat it as a HTML code. But I don't want this to be written. Welcome to Angular. If I'm writing in a one line, okay, so it is working properly. Sorry, whenever I'm writing in a one line, it works perfect, the template. Okay, so when I go here, yes, it is immediately reloaded. And sorry for the typo error. Welcome to Angular. So that's what here it is coming. But if I will not have only one line of code, right? We'll have more number of lines of code. So if I do enter, you can see we are getting some red marks. So that is, if you see here, it is saying it cannot find the name. So whenever you have more than one line code in the template, Angular will say don't go with a single quotes or double quotes, go with a backstick character. So that is, the backstick character should be mentioned. If you have a backstick character, you can write multiple code to be taken care, like how many number of lines you want to write it, we can take it here. So this way now we can write multiple lines of a code with respect to here template. Okay, so that's what the code which we have written. What happened? Value at position 0, app module is not a reference. Declarations. So I'm just writing some code. Yeah, okay, it's loading late. So that's what here it is coming inside of a template. Okay, so like now The selector is done and the template is coming in the style URL. So which is any CSS code you want to write it, you can write it in the app component.css. So component is a combination of class and template and the CSS. So that's why all the three will be there. But CSS is a optional. So if you're not writing also, no worries. So it will not make CSS as a mandatory file. Okay, it's an optional file. So, but template is a mandatory. Either template or template URL should be present. Styles is optional field. Or if you want to work with the style also, so here we will take styles. And what is the styles you want to give it? Here inside of this itself, you can write all your CSS code can be written. Okay, either styles or style URLs, you can use it. So that's a simple component. Are you clear with the component and app module TS?
Yeah.
Of you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it, do you have a project? Has the project got created with you?
I'm running into some node issue. Probably simultaneously. I'm not sure I can work with you. That is a challenge I'm having.
Okay, okay. You can fix it by tomorrow, no issues, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
informed today I can take only 1 hour session because
Okay, okay.
why I informed you?
Yes, I got a mail,
Okay, okay. Sorry, okay.
but I was not sure it's a 1 hour session. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So that is the app module TS which we have, and here the component.
So one
So
question
now,
I have, like,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt.
no issues.
The style.css also we can externalize the CSS, right? So if we
Mm.
specify component specific CS where we refer in the component.ts, the
Hmm?
style URL or the style uh, things, right?
Hmm.
Which one will
Hmm.
be taken the super sheet? Yeah.
It's app component CSS. The first one
Okay.
is always local one. If not, if that is not present in the local, then it will refer to the global one.
Okay. Okay.
For
Fine.
the whatever the global styles you want to give it, we can write it in a component styles.css. Specific to this component, if you want to write anything, you can write it in this particular CSS file.
Okay. Got it.
So where we have Angular different components. So where I want to just do how the nested components we will be writing. So then we will go with the data binding as well. So like nested components means the component within the another component. Like as if now we have one component, this component we have rendered in the index.html. How will I create a new component? Do I will need to create a each file and to do? Not required. We have a Angular console, which is Angular CLI, will be very good. So you can use ng for generate, C for component, NGGC, and whatever the component name you want to give. No need to write the component prefix, suffix. If you use NGGC, it always suffix with the component. Like I will just take only employee, NGGC employee. So whenever you do NGGC employee, see what all the things will do. It will create a one folder, and inside a folder it's created a four files basically. One is HTML, one is CSS, one is TS, and it will have a spec file is used for a unit testing. Okay, and each component should be registered to app module TS. That's why you can see now employee component got registered. Okay, that is what whenever you want to create a component, you can go with this particular command, NGGC component name. But if I don't want the folder structure, I don't want the what we say, I don't want a spec file, I don't want a HTML file, I don't want CSS file, I want only TS file. It should have a template and all those things. So how can I write it? So the same command we can use it. If you mention -flat, so that it will not create a new folder for your component. you don't want the template, we can give IT so that it will skip the template file generation. It will not create the template.html. So then if you don't want a CS, so then ISO, that is, it will not create a new folder, it will not create a new HTML, it will not create the IS file, and you don't want the test file also, we can write it skip test. If you write this command so that it will create a flat only TS file, it will include the template instead of template URL and style. Everything will be taken care with a one file also. Okay, that is the difference between these two commands. Now I have one component got created, so which is employee component. If I want to
But
render employee, yeah.
when will we use such commands? When
Like I don't
scenarios?
want to, yeah, I don't want to write a different CSS, and I don't want to write a test file also. Like I'm concentrating only on development. Why to simply generate the unit testing file? I don't go for unit testing. So I don't require this files. So that which part you don't want, only that you can write it. So it will skip it.
Okay.
If you write only this two,
Yeah,
it
got it.
will not give a CSS and spec file. So now I have an employee component HTML. So I have employee component TS. Like whatever the data, I want to write some component. So like I want to write some table. So I want to display the name and details of an employee. So what I'll do it. So let me just remove all this code. I will just write only a simple component, not going with the life cycles. Yeah. So I have a class called employee component which have a export keyword. So then only I can import it anywhere. I will create some variables here, which is first name, which is a type of string. You can give a type or else directly you can give what is the value you want to assign it. So I wanted something like my name. I'm just creating some four variables. So this is a four variables. I have it. This data, I want to display it in the table format. So we'll go to employee component HTML. So I will write one table. We can give different designing also. I'm just not much concentrating on the design now. So I'm creating here TD, which is first name. And I want to get the data of this to HTML. Component to HTML we wanted, component to HTML we wanted, which is how will you do the data binding? So the first way of data binding is called interpolation. Interpolation means we will use a double curly braces. This is the interpolation symbol. So this is the first name which I have it my in employee component. So how I'll be able to display this data? Let me just give some border. So I want to render employee component. If you see your output, it is always gives only the app component because it's a single page application. I can't write a multiple files in my Bootstrap application. So if you're writing, like I'm writing here, employee component, I have written here employee component. And let us just go. So still it is loading, but after loaded also we are getting only this, because not only app module TS, it's a combination of index.html. How can I add it in the index.html? So that is, I will add it here, app employee. So this is the name of a selector for the employee. I just added this selector. So now let it reload it. You can see here employee. Now employee component is also got rendered. Okay, employee component also rendered. but we don't go in this way actually. We will do only one component as a bootstrap component. In that component, we will design what we wanted. So in the app component TS, we will add it here. In the next div, we want app employee. So the main component is an app component. So app component have a child component, which is nested component, which is app employee. So now inside of this, the same output is coming. Okay, this way we do generally do it. So we are now binding our data, which is all the variables which we have it here. We are binding to this. Let me just take another table row. So I just made it here all the data binding. What data I have currently, we are hard coding all the values. So I'm hard coding the values. So that same data which I'm getting here. Okay. So let first develop a application. So then I will give the backend so we can make a interaction with this. Okay. So that is now we are able to get all the details. Yes, the data is coming. So, but when the data is rendering, so whenever my page is loading, I want to give some designing. So when the page loads, I want to give only first name and last name. Gender, age should not be visible. So whenever I give for further details, like I should have some button or something like that. If I click on the button, so I will be able to see what is happening. So that is we can go with some button can be created and we can hide the details and can be done it in that way. So this way we are doing a binding of a data. So when you go with the Angular, the important concept which is called data binding. So what are all the things are there with the data binding? We have one-way binding, we have two-way binding, we have event binding. So we'll have style binding, we have class binding, we have attribute binding. So different ways of binding are there. For the data binding, we have a one-way binding and two-way binding. These two are for data binding. So if I have the data from component to HTML, if I want to bind it, yes, we have used this way. Okay, so this we will call it as a interpolation. This we will call it as a interpolation. So inside the interpolation, we can write any expressions as well. Let me just come to app component TS. So I will use it here. There is a variable called title. This I want to bind it. How we will bind it? So we will bind it here, title. Okay, so this we will be bind it here. Like you want to write some expressions inside of a interpolation, we can write it. Like I'm just mentioning here some variable flag which is false. I will take here flag, ternary operator, true, colon, false. So simple expressions also can be writing inside of the interpolation. If the flag is true or flag is false, so based on that we will be getting here the output. Okay, the ternary operator like the simple expressions also can be writing. So I have some text here. Let me just take one button. Okay, I have one property here is disabled. This is one simple property which I made it as a false. Okay, so now I want to take one button. So I want to make a button disabled. The property called disabled. For this, we will use here is disabled. Okay, so I have binded this property with my button. Okay, that's what I have done it now. So when you go here, see button is displaying like this. Let me just give some value to this. Click me. So when you go here, the button got disabled. The button is disabled. So disabled false means it should not be disabled, right? Let me just change a value to true. I'm just changing the value to true. But still the button is disabled. Either you have a false or you have a true, but still it's have a same property. So let me just take some more thing here. I will use mm, one simple HTML, which is page header. This is one simple text. So I'm writing here P, or I will write here some HTML content. B, Spring People. I'm just writing here one page header, which is hello Spring People, which is a string which I'm using. So I've used a double quote. So my TS lint was given the issue here. Yeah. So hello Spring People I have taken. Let me just break the line. I will write some span tag. In the span, I'm using inner HTML property. I'm taking here page header. Okay, so this is what I have written. When I go and display it here, let me just load the page. Yeah, it is applied here. Yes, hello, Spring People. Okay, it's coming now properly. So where if you go with a button, it is not happening properly, because if I give a false or true, but still it is giving as a false only, right? The button is not enabling. So then how to do it, or how I will be going with this? So for this, what we can do it, we have another way of for binding in the one-way binding itself. The first way of one-way binding is interpolation.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan, and grow your skills immensely.
This is the symbol. The next one we have called property binding. The property binding symbol is this one, the square bracket. Okay, how will you write the property binding? When you go here, the button, so the same type of a button I will take it. Okay, but instead of interpolation, I will use property binding. How will use the property binding? The property binding will use for the attributes. So that is here I'm using disabled. For this disabled, I have used the property. Just have a look. Both I have a is disabled as a true. Okay. So let us just go and see both the buttons are disabled. Let me just change a value from true to false. Just reloading a page. You can see now the property binding which you have used, it is enabled for the button click, but still the interpolation one is not working. So the difference of interpolation and property binding, always the interpolation will be used for any kind of data retrieval or for the expressions. The property binding we will be used for any type of binding the HTML attributes or non-textual information. Non-textual information you want to go with, then we will use it here. If you see, I have a span instead of inner HTML. Let me just use a here the page header inside of the span. Inside of a span, I mentioned here the page header. When you go here, let us just reload the page. Yeah, you can see the page loading is not like the bold is not applied here. It is giving as a B tag here, right? It is giving as a B tag itself. But I want to bind it with some property, then it will be working properly. Like what is a property which is inner HTML? Page header, which I'm doing with the property binding here. Now when you go, so it's just reloading. Let us just, yeah, Spring People, the bold one is applied. Okay, so that is the non-textual kind of information if you want to work with. So we will go with the property binding. If any textual information or any expressions to be written, we'll go with the interpolation. So both interpolation or property binding or one-way binding itself. So depends on your requirement. Like if you have textual informations to be done, we go with interpolation. Basically for retrieval job, we'll use this interpolation. For to bind it with any properties, like for example, I have an drop down button. Whenever change the value of a drop down, it should be reflected to my component ES. So I will be go with the property binding because that should be binded with the property or the kind of requirement which I taken here. If you see the button one, when I do interpolation, the property will be not binded, but if I do property binding, it's properly working. So this is the both ways of doing the property binding and interpolation. Are you both clear with one-way data binding?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Got it. Good, good.
Both of you? Is it
Yeah.
my pace and my way of doing is okay for you? Any changes required?
No, it's good.
Okay. So I will take here one text box. Like for example, okay, or we have already a title, no? Let me use the title only. I will take one input type text box. I want to get the value of the title. So like whatever the title which I have it, so the title I should be stored into my variable. So how I'll be able to do it? So that is, I want to go with either interpolation, or we can go with a property binding, or we can go with a any. It's our wish how we want to go with. So if I have some text box and I will give here the property binding, the value, and which is a title. Okay, so I'm using this text box and I will just print the title here. You enter the value. Just by using interpolation, I'm displaying. Okay, so I'm taking one text box. To the text box, I'm taking this title. Now the same data I'm displaying, right? Both are doing one-way binding. If you see, I'm able to get what data it is present in the text box. But if I do some changes to the text box value, it is not reflecting because both interpolation and property binding are the one-way binding. But I want to read it. What is the data is present in the text box? I want to read this and should be reflected to my component value. The title also should be. That is, I want to go with the two-way binding. How I'll be able to do it? So we have one more binding which is called event binding. Like if you do click operation or if you do any operations of a JavaScript events, we'll take it a event binding that I'll take it in a while. So here I want to go with the value of title. So whenever you are typing something here, the input binding is happening. So that is, I will take here input, which is one event binding is happening. For what it is happening? For the title. For the title, it is happening. I want to capture what is the event is happening. To capture the event, we have a event object $event dot target dot value. So this is one I have taken here, event target dot value. So then I'm just printing a title here. Whatever the event is happening for this text box, every event we are capturing here, and that target value will be applied to title also. This is the JavaScript code which I have writing here now. So that is, the value property binds the flow of data from component to the HTML element property, and input this will be the event binding. For event binding, we'll use a rounded brackets. This event binding flow data in the opposite direction from HTML to the component. From HTML to the component, this $event is exposed by Angular event binding and contains the event data. For that event, what is the data is happening? So this expression will update the value in the name property for the component class. That is what here the interpolation will be getting the data for you. Let us just go now here. Let me just reload. If you see the text box which I'm entering the value, wherever I have a title binded here, title binded here. So what the data I'm changing, everything will be reflecting for your. So the data is flowing in the opposite direction. The first one, when you load a page, that property binding or interpolation from component TS to the HTML, the data got binded. I want to send it to the opposite direction from HTML to the component ES. So that is that the title value should be changed. So the data is flowing in a reverse direction. For that, we are using here the event binding with the Angular event. But still, it will be a difficult task to write it or remember the expression to go with. The simplest way is given in the Angular. That way is, we have one property called ng model input type. It is a, we will call it this concept as a banana in a box. The concept name itself, banana in a box. That is, the first we are taking a box, the property binding. Inside a property binding, we are binding with a event binding. We are keeping a banana, which is ng model. And I will use it here for the ng model. What's the name? Which is title. So this way we will be writing. But whenever you write the ng model, you will get a compilation problem. What is it compilation problem? Ng model is not a known property for input. Because ng model is an Angular property, if you want to work with ng model, you have to have mandatory forms module. You have to import the forms module. Import from Angular forms. And that forms module should be imported in imports. Whenever you do imports, you are able to see the error gone here also. Okay, so that is what ng model. Whenever you want to do the two-way binding, either we can go with a separation of the property binding plus event binding, or we can go with a banana in a box concept, which is two-way binding. So property binding plus event binding is called a banana in a box. So now you are able to see, still we are able to get the data in everywhere. Okay. What happened? It's compiled, okay. Because I'm taking another input type text box, I'm just seeing that text box is not coming. I guess it is loading now. Yeah. So that whenever you just do the changes, you can see everywhere. That is the way which we will do the two-way binding. This two-way binding, we will call it as a banana in a box. Are you clear with data binding and two-way binding? Like one-way and two-way?
Yeah.
Do you want me to repeat it?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Prashant?
Yeah, we are good.
Okay, thank you. So, I guess time up. I have some other commitments. So, sorry for today. Only for today it is. So, tomorrow we'll have 8:30 to 10:30. No issues. That's your
Can we
regular
get
timings,
the
right?
recordings for the today at least? I'll go through that once again. Is it possible?
Sure, sure. Like once it is done, it will be uploaded to L&D Cloud.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe by
How do
morning it will be uploading. Yeah, tell me.
How do you access that?
You have not received any mail for L&D Cloud?
I've got the mail.
Yeah.
It's my
So
first
this is
login.
okay.
Did,
You have
did,
to
did we
log
get?
into this L&D Cloud. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. So when you go here, like this is actually trainer board. You will be getting similar to this. You can go to your Angular 4. So
Okay.
there you will be able to see the how many sessions and for each session what materials got uploaded and all. So if you want, I can
Okay.
upload the code as well.
Please do that
Sure.
so that I will go through that.
Yeah, that is here. Yes, this is the session 1 for you, right? Today is your first session or it's a fourth session?
Yeah.
Just third
It's a
session, I believe, right?
third
Fourth.
session. Okay. Yeah. I'll upload the course to I'll upload the code which I have written. So maybe whenever you are downloaded, you have to run a npm I command. So because I will remove the node modules and upload it. If you want with the
Okay.
node modules, I can upload with node modules also. No issues. Okay, I will give as it is a project. You can download it and extract. You just have to do the command npm start or ng serve. If you do ng serve, the project will run.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Please do that because I have issue with the node installation probably.
Yeah, sure. And I'll upload this uh, notepad which I
also.
was. Yeah. So, yeah, okay with today's session?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.